Hey, all you YouTubers, smokers and grillers, sous vide cookers, subscribers and newbies. Welcome to old SmokinSteve's. Today we're going to be talking about pork tenderloin. Now I fixed this pork tenderloin up the other day and I failed to make a video of it, but it tasted so good and it's so easy to make. I wanted to share this with you and just talk about, and you can duplicate it. It's very easy to do and it's very good. The pork tenderloin that I cooked up, grilled up, I grilled it with direct heat and I grilled it at about 400 degrees, and I took it up to an internal temperature of about 140, which made that pork really moist. And what I used for a rub was the Pit Boss hickory bacon, okay? And I put a real generous coat on there on all sides and all edges. It's not real strong in flavor, so I put a generous coat on there. Then I capped that off with the Traeger Coffee Rub. Now I wasn't so generous with the coffee rub. It's a little more flavorful, so I just sprinkled a little bit on only one side of the pork. But I cooked that up to 140 degrees and pulled it off, and that stuff was so moist and really good. I just felt like I needed to share this with you. And here's the end result, okay? What we're gonna do, well, these are leftovers. We're gonna warm this up, and I'm gonna show you how to do that without drying the meat out. Now this pork tenderloin, some of you may get confused between a pork tenderloin and a pork loin. The pork loin is the size of a roast, maybe about this big around and maybe so long, and generally comes with a fat cap. And the pork tenderloin is the cut right beneath the pork loin, and it's flatter. It's not round. It's maybe that long, and it's flatter. It's a flatter piece. And this package that we bought came with 2 pieces, so I grilled both pieces up. And the great thing about it is this whole pork tenderloin was only $7 and some odd cents, and the wife fixed up this amazing fried rice. I just love this fried rice, and along with pork, one of my favorite meals. But anyway, in all total, the fried rice, the pork tenderloin, and we had some sliced tomatoes with green onions. All in all, that cost maybe 10 bucks or so, give or take. Now I would have been happy going out to a restaurant paying $40, $50 for a meal like this, because it was really that good. But I wanted to share this with you, and hopefully you can duplicate the cook, because it really turned out good. Now I'm going to show you how to warm this up. In most cases, whether it be a brisket, pulled pork, steaks, whatever, it's really good off the grill, right? But when you warm it up, it takes on a whole new taste. And when you warm it up, it generally tends to overcook, dry out, and it's just not as good. But I'm going to show you how to get around that, and it's going to be just like it came off the grill. So let me show you what we're going to do. Okay guys, here it is. This is how we're going to be warming up our pork tenderloin. This is the InkBird sous vide cooker, and we're going to be setting this up here in a minute, but I just wanted to show it to you. I got the InkBird plugged in. I don't have it set up yet, but I got it into this pot here, and I did put in some warm water to eliminate some heating time. The water is actually 114 degrees right now, and we're going to turn that up to 135 degrees and heat that pork tenderloin up. And over here we have the pork tenderloin in a bag, and I just put enough in there for the wife and I to have today, and I have even more left over for another cook. So that's going to be a a total of actually 6 meals that we're going to get out of that pork tenderloin, which brings that cost down of $10 to $1.66 per meal. Now that's darn cheap eating, and that's good eating. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get this set up. Now I hit that set button there, and the set temperature is flashing at 138 degrees. So we could raise or lower the temperature here by hitting the plus or minus degree. Let's go ahead and lower that to 135. So let's hit the minus key. So now we're at 135 degrees. And the time is set for 2 hours. We don't want that for 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and change that to about 35 minutes. So let's go ahead and set that temperature at 135. That quit flashing. Now the set time's flashing. So we're going to lower that. Okay, we got the time set for 35 minutes now. I did want to point out on this sous vide cooking, we're not actually doing any boiling. A lot of you think we're boiling the meat, but to boil meat or boil anything, the water temperature has to be 212 degrees. And we're not getting that water that hot. It's only going to be about 135. And with this sous vide cooker, not only is it excellent for warming up stuff, it's not going to dry your stuff out, and it's going to be just like it was originally cooked. It's nice and juicy, and however it was when you took it off a grill, that's the way it's going to be warming up this way. And not only can you warm stuff up, but you can start out cooking stuff that way. You can throw your pork in the sous vide cooker and cook it. Turkey breast, brisket, chicken, just whatever. You can cook it from the get-go using this. And I realize everybody doesn't have one, but it's a worthwhile item to have. I haven't had mine that long, and I'm still learning about it, but I would highly recommend it. Now I'm going to have a link underneath the video in the description where you can check out pricing and whatever, but I do recommend the InkBird. I haven't tried any of the others, but I have seen some videos where some of them are pretty noisy. And right now this InkBird is heating up, and I don't know whether you can hear it or not, but I can just barely hear it. So it's a good one, and it does a good job. And check out the link underneath the video after you get through watching. But we're still letting that water heat up, and we're going to be throwing the meat in here in a minute. Okay, sous vide just reached 135 degrees. That is the water temperature. And we're going to go ahead and take the bag of pork tenderloin. We got the top of it open here. So we're going to slowly lower it into the water. And as we lower that, that pushes the air out of the bag. And once we get it lowered in there, get that air out of the bag, we want to go ahead and seal that. Close that bag off. And we're going to clip it on the side here. Okay. That is wanting to float a little bit, so I'm going to get something and a knife or something, hold that down in the water, make sure it doesn't float. Just add a little bit of weight to that so that won't float on you. So we're going to let that cook for 35 minutes now, and we'll be pulling it out, and we'll be ready to eat. The way that's heating up, like I say, it's not boiling. It's just the heat from that water that's warming that meat up. Water temperature is 135. So in 35 minutes, well, sooner than that, the meat's gonna be up to 135, but we're gonna leave it in for 35 minutes, and we're not overcooking anything like that. It's gonna be just as juicy as it was when we pulled it off the grill. So let's let her warm up, and we'll come back to it here in a little bit. Okay guys, I just pulled that meat out of the water bath. It's done. It's been cooking in the sous vide cooker for 35 minutes. And I got a piece cut off here. Show it to you. Didn't overcook. I'm gonna give it a taste test and see what it's like. Tender, juicy. And it's got that same flavor that it had when it first came off the grill, and just as tender and just as juicy. So guys, when you can warm up your food, warm up your leftovers like this without overcooking and stuff, you know, I know some of you maybe don't even like leftovers, but when you can do this and it's just as good as it originally was, why wouldn't you eat them? My, really good stuff. Guys, hope you liked the video. Be sure to check out the links below the video in the description. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.